Hey folks, Brendan here from Bluelight, going live tonight in the Bluelight Facebook group. So hopefully you can join me on this live to discover how the police service is going to manage what is looking like a £400 million deficit. Yeah, a £400 million gap in funding for this year. So in this live, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the sort of options that you can create for yourself, what this £400 million deficit may actually look like, what impact it's going to have on you, what some forces like GMP are already doing about it, and steps that you can take to ensure that you are still likely to be successful in the police recruitment process. So welcome to those of you who are coming to join me this evening. Straight away we've got Lewis, Tom, Amy, we've got Simon, we've got Holly, Hannah, let's just see who else we've got. We've got Jess, we've got Pieter, I can't pronounce that properly, Pieter. Loads of you coming to join us this evening, so it's great to have you on board. If you're watching this on the replay on YouTube or on any other social media, and if you're thinking I'd like to find out a little bit more about this Facebook group, and by the way, give me some loves and likes if the Facebook group is awesome. Give me some loves and likes. Let me know what you think of the Facebook group, folks. You're all members of it. There's almost there's over 21,000 of you, almost 22,000 of you, all helping each other, supporting each other for the police recruitment process and beyond, because so many of you are actually serving officers. We've got people who joined the Bluelight cadre 12 years ago when I first started running recruitment workshops, and now one of them is going for superintendent. Can you believe that? One of them is going for superintendent, which is just awesome news. So the big news, there is a gap in funding of £400 million, and that was something that was in the Guardian today. Martin Hewitt, the outgoing Chief Constable who actually worked not for a force but worked for the National Police Chiefs Council, he's retiring soon, and he was talking about two things: the threat to the legitimacy of the police service and the lack of trust in the police because of all the scandals that keep pouring out the police service. But the other thing he alluded to was how there's more pain to come, but the pain to come is going to be around cutbacks. There's no other way of dressing it up. There's 400 million across England and Wales that's missing. So £400 million worth of cuts are going to have to be made. And that money's got to come from somewhere. They can't raise the precept anymore. That's the amount of money that you pay from your council tax. I know from where I live in York, we're already bumping the ceiling of where the council can go in terms of the precept. There's nowhere else for them to go. They're right at the limit. They can't charge us any more in terms of our council tax. So the money's going to have to come from, well, it's not going to come from anywhere. They're going to have to find savings. And I saw this play out about 12, 13 years ago. I saw this play out when austerity kicked in. And I don't think it's going to be as bad this time, but certainly that's a lot of money. And if you've got an outgoing Chief Constable talking about pain, there's pain to come. 400 million that's missing and in the budget, and they've got to get that back from somewhere. And the only way they can do it, because over 90% of the budget is spent on pay and pensions, the only way they can do that is to cut back recruitment, and that's what they did 12 years ago. However, I don't think it's the bad news that you may think it might be, because having talked to some sources within the service from various forces, they've all learnt the lessons from the past. They all recognise that you can't just stop recruitment. They all learnt from austerity when they just stopped recruitment completely, and they learnt that lesson because actually it harmed the force in terms of continuity. So what they're talking about now is reducing the numbers in terms of police recruitment, spreading out the intakes across the year, reducing the numbers, but not stopping completely. I don't think there's any forces that are going to stop completely. So at the moment, we're nearing the end of March 2023. The uplift is about to finish, the 20,000 uplift. This is the replacement of the officers that were lost because of austerity, because of all the cuts that had to be made over the past 3 years. an additional 20,000 officers have been recruited on top of the officers that would have been recruited anyway. So it's been a really good time to join the police. About 16,000 or more have had to be recruited each year just to ensure that we keep up with the numbers that are leaving and add that additional 20,000. I think the numbers are around something like 48,000 police officers have had to be recruited over the past 3 years. Just an incredible number. So, and it's varied, the numbers have varied from year to year, but I do believe that most forces are going to hit their targets, but not all. But if you're applying to join the police now, or you're in the recruitment process at the moment still, there's no way you're going to get in by the end of March. And after that, that's it. That's the end of all of that funding. It's gone. It's just gone. There's no more funding. So forces are going to have to fund recruitment out of their own pot now. But if that pot is an overall £400 million deficit, then there's no pot to fund from. They're going to have to find the money from somewhere. So I think we're going to see more ingenious things like what GMP have just announced today. So they're going to cut back on PCSOs. They're not going to make any PCSOs redundant. They're just going to allow them to leave. And when they leave, they're not going to get replaced. And eventually that's going to see them able to recruit. I think they're going to lose something like 320 PCSOs, and they're going to recruit about 260 police officers to take their place. So those officers will be ring-fenced into neighbourhood policing. So this means that neighbourhood policing is going to increase. And they've got all sorts of innovative ideas apparently, like a named officer for every area. Yeah, I've seen all of that before. So their innovative ideas aren't actually that innovative. They're all from 2005, 2006 when neighbourhood policing was invented. The policing pledge came in, an officer, dedicated officer for every area, and all the other things that GMP are saying they're going to do. But anyway, it's just an example of what the police service are going to do to actually continue to be able to recruit, despite the fact that there's a gaping big hole in the budget. So what can you do to ensure that you succeed? Well, if you're in the recruitment process at the moment, what I would do if I could, is I'd apply for multiple forces. So one of my clients at the moment has got 8 applications in. 8. Forces don't necessarily like it, but the College of Policing rules say that you can apply for as many forces as you want. You just can't do the online assessment centre in twice in any 6-month period. You can only do it once in any 6-month period. So apply for as many forces as you can, because some forces are going to be still recruiting because they still need some numbers. Others are flush and they just don't need to. I do believe Lancashire have indicated that they have absolutely no need to open up the recruitment window until summer or autumn of 2024. That's 18 months away. They've got sufficient people in the pipeline. So you'll have to do your own digging as to where your force is in terms of recruitment. Lots of forces. I know City of London at the moment. I know some of you are a bit annoyed with City of London because we might have an intake in September. We don't want might, we don't want probably, we don't want could. If your force that you're applying to is committing to certain intake dates, then keep them to that, hold them to that, especially if you're quite some way into the recruitment process, but still apply to other forces because they may take your online assessment centre, quick interview with them, and they may have you on an intake far sooner. Get yourself through the door, because at the moment, even with uplift, only 1 in 8 get in. I can see that changing to what it used to be, which is around 1 in 12, 1 in 15 nationally, depending on the force. One force was 1 in 26. That's not as bad as it's been. When I joined the police in 1985, it was 1 in 40 got in. So it's always been challenging. It's just over the past 3 years, it's been a lot easier. 1 in 8 as the national success rate. That's been really good. It's been really good for you, but that's not going to last forever now. That's going to go. That's going to go. So spread the risk. The person who's the person who's got the most options is capable of making the best decisions. So that's where I'd go with that. Let's see. It's no longer a given. What else? Right. It's just time to focus on excellence, folks. You've just got to focus on excellence. When I see comments in the Facebook group like, I only spoke for 2 minutes and I still passed. Yeah, great, whoopee-doo. But if you end up in a talent pool, and what a talent pool is where all the people who've passed, so let's say the force has got they're planning on 200 vacancies, but actually the budget cuts they're going to have to make means they're only going to have 100 vacancies this year. But they've put several hundred people through the recruitment process, and 400 people have passed their online assessment centre. 400 people have passed the online assessment centre for just 100 places. So they can't interview all 400. They can only interview 200, knowing that they're going to reduce the 200 to 100 through the final interview. But there's 400 people who've passed the online assessment centre. So what they're going to do, they're going to do the only lawful thing they can do because of a stated case from Cheshire several years back, is they can only take people to the next stage based on their score. So if you've just got a pass, you stay inside the talent pool. I saw this play out a decade ago. And the only way people could get out of the talent pool was to apply to another force, do the assessment centre with that other force, get a higher score, and then present that to the force that they were in a talent pool with, and then they'd get taken out for the final interview. This happened 10 years ago. I know some of you may have been in shorts at that time, but I was there, I was doing this kind of work back then. Listen, I've been coaching and supporting people to succeed in promotion board specialist interviews for 28 years now. I've been working in the police sector since 1985 when I joined the police service. Served 3 decades as a police officer, 28 years whilst I was in the police as well as post-retirement, supporting people for the recruitment process, supporting people for promotion boards, specialist interviews. Listen, I've seen this play out. It's going to play out again, folks. So make sure you're not in that talent pool. Go for excellence. It's not an option just to get a pass. It's not an option just to think, well, 3 minutes of talking will be fine when I've got 5 minutes. I don't need to fill the other 2 minutes. This will be okay. No, you do. I've just had a one-to-one with someone who failed the Northumbria Police detective process, and they're very fortunate to get feedback, and the feedback screamed at me a lack of detail. What he was saying was, I don't think I knew the competency and values framework enough. No, that wasn't the problem. The problem was a lack of detail. You talked about what you did, but not how you did it. So in your answers for the interview, we want detail. We want a structured, detailed answer with authenticity and some kind of emotional connect, because that's the other thing the feedback talked about as well, a lack of emotional connect. No cliches. Their motivation answer was terrible, awful, full of cliches, riddled with cliches. So we've got to do better than that, folks. We've got to score better than everyone else. That's all you need to do, score better than everyone else. Get in the upper quartile. A pass isn't good enough anymore. Trust me on this. I saw it happen 10 years ago. And it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. So, if you're still watching this, it means that you are interested in succeeding. You are interested in that excellence. And I know from looking at a lot of your names that you are already on my interview programs, my online assessment centre programs. You're already doing the webinars with me. Stick with it, folks. You are doing the right thing. That's what's going to get you through. You know from talk, the language I use on the webinars is we're not just going for a pass, we are going for 90% plus. That's what we aim for. We aim for that level of excellence. Why? Because I want you all to get through everything, first time, every time. You're the one that they're interested in, because you're the one that has them on the edge of their seats in the interview, because you get that outstanding feedback, because they write something on the feedback on their own report for the final interview that this was an outstanding candidate. Exceptional was the word that one of my clients got the other day. Exceptional. That's where we need to be, folks. Exceptional, outstanding, not just ordinary or mediocre. Stand out. Make sure that you are at the top of the pile, because, like I said, they're going to continue to recruit, but the numbers are going to be smaller. There's just no doubt about it. There's no way out of it. Because I know that about 90% plus of the budget gets spent on pay and pensions. And they've already cut everything else back from the last austerity drive. They've sold all the police stations. There's nothing left to sell. There's no more silver in the cupboard. Everything's gone. All the silver's gone. The only place to make cutbacks is with officer numbers. So, if you're still with me, I'd love to work with you. I'd love you to be part of those webinars. Come and join me. Come and join everyone else, the hundreds that are on those webinar programs already. We spread them out, so there's 2 every week for the online assessment centre, there's 1 every week for the final interview. This is where we focus on excellence. This is where we focus on ensuring that you're going to score the highest marks possible. Check the links below. Come and join those programs. If within 24 hours you think it's not for you, just let me know. I'll give you a full refund. And listen, I'm all in on this journey with you. I'll show you the way. You've got to do the hard work. But if you do all the work I've asked you to do and you still fail, and you can demonstrate that to me, then I'll give you a full refund. That's how all in I am. You've got to ask yourself the question now, are you all in? So if you're watching this on the replay on YouTube, then around here somewhere will be a button somewhere that you can press for subscribe. Please do subscribe to my channel. Other people will then get to watch these videos, and you'll get to watch more of them as well. And come and join our community. Come and be part of that journey towards excellence to ensure that you get through everything first time round. And for those of you who provided reviews on Trustpilot, then thank you very much. We are 5-star all the time. I can't remember a review over the past several months that's not been 5 stars. So thank you to all of you for those reviews and the wonderful things you write. I do reply to all of them. So if you want to take other people's word for it, check the Trustpilot reviews. And I shall look forward to catching up with you very soon on one of the webinars. Bye-bye for now.